Oh shit. Yeah. All right, Shalom. Giving all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, and double honors to the apostles, bishops, elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to you, hopefully elect. All right, get right into it. This is just going to be like another response, a land back. I'm going to be echoing off a video that an elder brother by the name of Kazak Yala, um, his title was "This Is It," and basically, again, to echo the brother's points that he was making, man. And this is just something that I think about, I meditate on all the time, man, because it's just like, man, you know, god damn. um and again, to echo the elder's points, some of his points, man. And I got one precept, and this might be like another spiritual rant. Like I said, I only got one precept on mine, but of course the spirit is going to do what it do, so pretty much getting into it. Again, he was making the points. Again, the title of his video was "This Is It." I believe his YouTube handler is GMS Page Master, if I'm not mistaken. Lord willing, I remember, I'm gonna post a link to that video in the description. But again, getting into it, because he was making points like, and this is a scary thing to even think about, because you got Jake, they're planning for the future here in America. All right, Jake is planning for a future here in America, and that's a scary thing to think about, because it's just like, it's like, why would you in your right mind want to be here another 20, 30, 50, 100 years? That's a scary thought, because imagine another 20, 30, 50, 100 years here. Just imagine 2, 3, 4 generations down the line. And that's why I titled this the way that I titled it, because just the way that according to how things is going, this has got to be it, man. Lord willing, this has got to be it. This has got to be the last generation, the last go round. This has got to be it, because if this ain't it, boy oh boy, are we done. We're finished out here, man. So this has got to be it. And Lord willing, this is it, man. This has got to be it, because just this feeling of anticipation, listen, the Lord's going to come through. The Lord's not going to disappoint. We're expecting the Lord to show up in our lifetime. All right, we're expecting the Lord to come sooner than we think. And again, the Lord's not going to disappoint. He's got to come. This has got to be it. Has to be it, because, man, if not, we're fucking done out here, man. Like I said, 2, 3, 4 generations down the line, we're gonna be. I always say, if we had to come back through the loins of these niggas, man, what in the world? If we had to come back through the loins of these 2/3 blonde dreadlocks, skinny jeans, Crocs, wearing ass 2/3 niggas, man, we're done. We're through. And that's why the scriptures talk about the Lord had to speed the days up, because it just, wickedness is at an all-time high. There's never been a point in history where wickedness has been so to this point. It has never been to this point where it's that wicked. It's not far-fetched, because the scriptures talk about Lot and how he was just vexed with the filthy conversations and the deeds. It's not far-fetched to think, what Lot was going through, because here we are, we're living this shit. We're living this shit. We're going through this shit. And it's just like, god damn. I remember there was a time when, being in the closet was a thing, or coming out the closet was a thing, because, it was a shame, for people that lived that type of lifestyle, man. there was this understanding of the shame. There was a shame. There was a reproach that came with that. So that's why again, being hidden in the closet, and you would hear about someone coming out the closet. Well, they had to hide in the closet because they knew it was a shame. Well, now it's to a point where, you know, everything is, of course, backwards, upside down. So, we're at a point where, and I've said this before, like, this is what I think, this is what I believe, because I believe, because like I said, there was a point in time when if you were living that lifestyle, all right, man on man, woman on woman, people will look at you funny. Like I said, there will be a reproach on you. But it's to a point now where, or I think it'll get to a point because things are just so bad. Things are so bad. I feel that it will get to a point where if you're straight, people are going to be looking at you funny, because to be a flaming mo, all right, that's the new thing. That's what's popping right now. That's what's trending. Everyone's doing it. As much as these so-called tough guys, Pookies, Rayways, as much as they want to act tough, and whatnot, man. Listen, majority of these guys, these dudes, man, they're on the low. All right, they're low key. They're living that lifestyle on the low. Likewise, these women. Likewise, these women. All right. You see, man. And it's just like I said, it's things are just so bad. It'll get to a point where, I believe another 50 years from now, man, that being straight, just like at one point in time, people will look at you funny for being, a part of that community because it was a reproach. Well, I believe 50 years down the line, maybe even sooner, being straight, people would be looking at you like, like, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? Looking at you like you crazy. You see, so that's the thing, man. Again, just going back to the point how this has got to be it. Lord willing, this is it. This has got to be it because goddamn, man, we can't do this shit no more, man. We can't put up with this shit no longer, man. The Lord has to do something. He has to put a stop to this. He has to put a stop. Again, wickedness is at an all-time high. It's at an all-time high. There's never been a moment in history where wickedness has reached this point. Man, and that's why, man, it's just, the Lord's really going to make a statement because here it is. And again, because going back before the ark, before the flood, hey, Noah was out there preaching 120 years. Listen, he gave those people more than enough time. All right, he gave those people more than enough time, man, to repent and come out of the ways. And you see the Lord, man, he's long suffering. The Lord is extremely patient. And it gets to a point where, hey, man, and that's cool because one of the characteristics of a bear, the characteristic of a bear, the bear, for the most part, it'll leave you alone. But if you keep, that's why the term, poking the bear, you keep poking the bear, eventually, all of a sudden, it's just going to come out. It is just going to lash out, man. It's just going to lash out. You keep poking that bear, man. It'll warn you, it's almost like a bear will, as a last resort, revert to violence, but you keep poking that bear, eventually it's just going to, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, lash out. And that's what the Lord is getting ready to do on a worldwide grand finale scale. And that's the thing, again, this grand finale of Yahweh Shema Shai. Because how much more does the Lord have to put up How much more does he have to tolerate? How much more does the Lord have to deal with this? How much more warnings? How much, you know, because these people there, and mainly Jake, because the hell with the other nations, Jake, man, they're poking that bear. They're provoking this. Scripture say they provoke the Lord. You know, when you provoke someone, hey, it's like, by all means, you know, I don't want no smoke. You know, I don't want to, you know, I don't want to, you know, I'm gonna just. But you keep provoking that person, man. You keep antagonizing that person. You know, that individual, because you know some shit. You know, like a fighter. You know, you want to poke on a little guy because you know he might not have his stature, right? His physical stature might be a short fella, right? You know, he might be a 5'6" individual, right? A buck 70, right? A fairly small fellow, right? You know, you might be 6'2", 220, right? You know, and you want to keep poking that little fellow, but hey, well, you have no idea that little guy, man, he knows some shit. And for your sake, for your safety, for your security, listen, just leave me alone. You know, I want to go about my day. I don't want, you know, I don't want no problems. But this simpleton, he wants to keep, you know, what you gonna do? You know, you keep pushing him. What you gonna do? Right? You keep putting your hands on him, right? That's you provoke someone to, hey, eventually they gotta do what they gotta do. They gotta lash out. You know, they gotta do what they gotta do. You know, but in essence, you know, essentially that's what Jake is doing to the Most High. You know, because listen, Jake, Slaki, the Most High, listen, man, Yahweh Shema Shai, he doesn't want to do what he's about to do. Now, of course, it's written in prophecy. All right, it's written that, you know, these things have to happen. But listen, the Lord, and I always say, no father in their right mind wants to just, you know, black out and take it there. But we understand why he has to do. The Lord has to do what he has to do. We understand why now. We get it. Because 2/3, they have to be put down like dogs. They got to be put down like dogs. You know, it's to a point, because listen, the scriptures talk about how 2/3, man, they surpass the deeds of the wicked, you know. And I be looking at Jake sometimes like, man, even Esau, the wicked himself, be looking at 2/3 like, damn, like I thought we were the wicked. Look at these Negroes, you know, because it's for example, you know, to go back to that whole being a flaming Mo. It's one thing, you might have a whole Ronnie Coleman built, full beard, white boy, right? You know, beard all oiled up and everything, right? And you wouldn't even know it, you know. You wouldn't even know the fact that this white boy, he likes men. He's a Mo. You, for the most part, you wouldn't even know it, you know, unless he obviously showed it. But 2/3, you know, on the contrary, you'll have another Cot Diesel, Ronnie Coleman looking Jake, all right, you know, full beard all oiled up, you know, wearing stilettos, spandex, you know, wearing fishnets. This nigga got eyelashes and shit. This Jake, they go all out. That's one thing about Jake. Whether it be in righteousness or in wickedness, they're gonna go all out. See, that's the thing. But like I said, Esau, the wicked himself, they be looking at Jake like, damn, I thought we were the, you know, like the saying in the world, like, damn, I thought I was crazy until you come across a real crazy one, right? Esau be looking at Jake like, damn, I thought we were the wicked. Look at these Negroes, because Jake could go all out with it, man. Full grown ass man, Cock Diesel, you know, Cock Diesel, wearing full beard, wearing stilettos and nylon stockings and all that shit, man. This is like, god damn. This is why Jake, they have to be put down like dogs. They have to be put down like dogs, because like the scriptures say, the whole head is sick. Let me get that before I ramble on too much. I don't want to ramble too much. Let me get that, man. Like I said, I got one precept in mind, but the Spirit is going to do what it do. And again, this is to land back, echo off the Elder Kazaki Allah. All right, just some of the points that he was making, man. Because with all that being said, this has got to be it. This has got to be the last generation. This has got to, man. This got to be it, man. And Lord willing, it is. Lord willing, this is it. Because Jake is fucking through. Jake is tired. I'm talking about, you know, to those of us, the hopefully elect, man, we can't bear this shit no more. I'm tired of this shit. I'm tired of these people. You know, these people are all jabbed up, driving crazy, not paying attention, going 80 miles in a school zone while they're on their phone. And when you blow the horn at them to slow the fuck down, they're looking at you like something's wrong with you. These people are bugged out, man. This whole world, man, and that's why, man, we long for those missiles, because that's what those missiles are going to do. All right, it's going to cleanse everything. The fire, and I mentioned that with the you know, going back to the flood. You know, because hey, man, the Lord, he was long suffering, and he allowed things to get to a point where, hey, enough is enough. You know, someone that's real patient, it says a lot about your character. You know, someone a very patient man. And that's what we're learning, because listen, that's why, man, hey, that's why we don't get the power right now, because, you know, listen, we are Jake. We know how Jake, we know how we are, man. We know our people. All right. And I don't know, me personally, I pray that the Lord don't give me the power, at least not right now, because I'm beyond through. All right, I'm beyond through. You know, a lot of us at one point, Lord, you know, I want the power. Lord, please give me that power. Listen, I don't want that power. All right, and this is gonna sound crazy to some, but I don't want the power. At least not right now. You know, at least when I really need it, man. Because the way my spirit is right now, and that's been a thing for me. Over the past few months, man, you know, as far as my patience, my tolerance level, because I've always been a patient individual. I've always been patient. I've always been a patient person, you know. So I thought, because, you know, I said this before, like, we think we get to a point where, hey, you think you're good, and the Lord be, all right, you think you're good? Well, watch this. Boom. You know. So that's one of those things that I got to deal with right now, man. Being patient, you know, tolerating this shit, tolerating these people. You know, and it's crazy because, like I said, I've always been patient. I've always been, you know, one to turn the other cheek. That's why I say all the time, like, hey, this truth, it comes with taking a lot of L's, so-called L's, which are lessons, and turning the other cheek. I always say that. You know, because I've always been the type to been patient. I've always been patient, you know. But so I thought, because that's what the Lord has been testing me with a lot lately. Like my patience, you know, my patience, man, I'm getting to a point where man, I don't want the power. You know, I don't want the power. And that's going to sound crazy, but if the Lord give me the power, man, right now, man, I'm fucking all this shit up. I'm burning all this shit. The hell with these people. Whoever's in my way, I don't give a shit, you know. You talk about blacking out. You talk about blacking out, man. Because these people, they need to go. They just need to wake up in the spiritual realm like, damn, what I do, Lord? What happened, Lord? That's the case with these people. They just need to wake up in the spiritual realm like, damn, Lord, what I do? What happened? Because, you know, when you wake up in the spiritual realm, you're going to be all right. You're going to be in your right mind. But you're going to wake up like, damn, what happened? I was just, Oh, damn, Lord, Salakia, you know. But Isaiah chapter 1. Oh, man. Isaiah chapter 1. I'll start at verse 4. Ah, sinful nation, a people laden with iniquity. You know, when you're laden in something, man, you're covered in it, man. You're just consumed in it to the point where there is no remedy. There's no, you know, when it gets to that point, it gets to a point where it's just like, there's nothing more I can do for you. You know, you got to be put down like a dog. There's nothing more that can be done. No remedy, no counseling, no amount of prayer. Just no, you got to be put down, man. And that's the case with 2/3. They're too far gone. The wickedness is too much. The iniquity is too much. You know, 2/3 at this point, they're far beyond the point of no return. There ain't no coming back. There ain't no. They just got to be put down, man. It says a seed of evildoers, children that are corrupters. They have forsaken the Lord. They have provoked the Holy One of Israel unto anger. So, like I was saying earlier, you know, you continue to provoke, push those buttons. You know, you talk about pressing all the wrong buttons. No, you pressing all the right buttons. Because the Lord, Jacob's 2/3, man, they're pushing those buttons to the point where, hey, the Lord is getting ready to respond. He's getting ready to lash out. He's getting ready to just black out. You know, the world is getting ready to see a side of the Heavenly Father that has never, no one's ever seen since the earth was created. You know, and again, because this has got to be it, man. Because goddamn, how long? How much more? Generation in, generation out, time in and time out, the Lord is just suffering this shit. You know, and it's just like, man, the Lord's got to do something, and He's got to do something quick, man. Because goddamn, it's to the point. Even the scriptures talk about how, like I mentioned earlier, how, the Lord, He has to speed things up. He has to speed things up. He has to get us out of here quickly, swiftly. We have to be translated out of here like Enoch. Hell, Yahushai, you know? He has to get us the hell up out of here. Because, listen, if the Lord doesn't get us out of here in a reasonable amount of time, then eventually, the righteous will be overtaken by the wicked. So that's why, again, the scriptures talk about, you know, the Lord speeding the time up, speeding the days up, man, getting us out of here swiftly. Because if not, eventually we will succumb to the wickedness. Eventually, you know, and that's how bad it is, man. That's how bad it is. That's how bad it's going to get. That if the Lord didn't get us out of here in a reasonable amount of time, yes, even the elect would fall. Even the elect would give in. You know, but that's why, the Lord's speeding things up, and you know, the Lord's got to speed this shit up. The Lord's got to get us out of here, man. And I say it like that just according to faith, all right? Because I always talk about how, you know, as far as our relationship, with Yahweh Shema Shah is different, you know, because you know, listen, the way that I talk, the way that I communicate with the Lord, you know, I'm comfortable talking a certain way to the Lord, you know. Now, to some, it might be like, damn, you know, you talk to the Lord like that, but listen, it's different for each and every one of us. All right. Like me being a father myself, my daughter, she knows. If she comes shamefaced, all right, humble, you know, you better, you know, come correct, you know, you better be tender. You better, you know. But my son, and it's cool because this isn't even anything that I tell them. It's something that it comes naturally for them. You know, it just comes naturally for them. You know, through time, through the process of elimination, trial and error. You know, of course. Because like I said, my daughter, she knows. You know, you talk to me a certain way. All right, don't just I ain't your mama. You know, I'm not your mother. You know, I ain't your friend. All right, I'm not your bestie. Well, none of that. All right. So my daughter, she talks to me a certain way. She comes before me a certain way. And I don't even have to tell her. But my son, hey, and brothers have met my son, and brothers brothers have even said it, how, hey, yeah, that's you. That's all you right there. Because my son, and he's the youngest of the bunch, my son, he doesn't hold punches, But even with that being said, there's humility with it, because my son knows, like, I ain't your mother, I ain't your little friend, none of that. He knows. And if anything, because I hardly had to, chastise my daughter, all right. But my son, he gets the rod all the time, all the time. He feels the rod, he knows. Go upside his head real quick. He knows, you know. So with all that being said, hey, my son, he knows, you know, in all humility, hey, what you need, I'm all ears. He knows. All right, he knows. But even with that being said, hey, my son, hey, he doesn't hold punches, Now he comes for the most part in humility, but my son, hey, he's honest, He speaks his mind. He doesn't hold his peace. All right. And it's to a point where I have to tell him, like, listen, the way that you talk, you keep this shit in the house. Don't be out, because like I said, my son, and I ain't mad, I ain't mad. Because that's one thing about just being a man in general, you're supposed to have a certain aggression about you. You're supposed to have a certain dog about you, but you got to learn how to control it, how to channel it. You got to, just certain things, when to say it, how to say it, the right place, the right time, And that's why my son, I tell him, hey, because he ain't nothing but a little lad, he's nothing but a little boy, so he's still working with him or whatnot. I'll be telling him, like, listen, the way that you talk, you keep that shit in the house. All right, don't be out in school or when we're out in public. The way that you talk, you keep that shit between us. All right, you keep that shit in the house. Keep that shit here between me and you. Because like I said, my son, he doesn't hold punches. He's cutthroat. He's cutthroat. And I just say all that to say, because listen, that's how the Lord wants us to be with him. Honest, upfront. Like, Abba, you said you're going to do this. When are you going to, and that's the, the $1 million question, the prophets of old to the prophets today, asking that $1 million question, like, God damn, Lord, when are you going to put an end to this shit? All the prophets today, the prophets of old, man, like, God damn, Lord, when are you going to, just that being that, brutally honest, but at the same time, humility, because, we all know everything is of the Lord. It's on his time. We know this. All right. But that's what the Lord wants. He wants that honesty. He wants you to open up to him, man. Talk to the Lord. So that's why I said, like I said, the way that I talk to the Lord, like I said, it's different for each and every one of us. I'll be talking to the Lord like, man, Lord, God damn, I want to fucking see these people suffer. I can't, we talk to the Lord, talk to Yahweh Shema Shai, man. I talk to the Lord like he's sitting here right here with me. Someone cuts me off in traffic, like, Lord, Lord, let me see this bitch blow up right now. Like, God damn, Lord, you gonna let this motherfucker cut me off right here? Talk to the Lord, man. Like, I hope this bitch get in an accident right now. No? All right, well, fuck it. It's to a point where, our relationship with Yahweh Shema Shai, so that bond is so strong that, listen, a lot of times, man, we don't even have to waste our breath putting curses upon these people, man. These people that condemning themselves, they don't even know it. They don't even know it. We don't, for the most part, don't have to put curse up on these people. They're condemning themselves, man. And they don't even know it. And that's on them. You see? Because this generation, man, boy, especially Jake, man, you know, especially Jake, you got a lot of these Israelite camps, man, talking about all Israel being said, man, fuck Jake. All right, fuck Jake. You know, listen, I would rather leave my car running with the keys. I'd rather leave my car running. All right, have all my windows down, leave my car running, run into the gas station real quick in a white neighborhood. Jake, man, fuck that. Windows up, you know, for the sisters, have your purses tucked. All right. If anything, man, you got to be careful around Jake, man, because Jake, man, these are vipers. You know, Jake, man, they're 2/3. They're snakes, man. They ain't no good. 2/3, they're not right. They're sick. That's why I'm going back into this. In verse Isaiah 1 and verse 5, why should you be stricken anymore? Because, you know, it's like, what more talking does the Lord have to do? What more? What more? The Lord he's pleaded enough. He's given everyone more than enough time. He's been patient long enough. It's like, what more does the Lord need to do? That's why the judgment is necessary, man. That's why, you know, going back to, like I was saying, a lot of these camps, we got to save all Israel. All Israel. And for the most part, when we're young in this truth, we all come in our spirit like, man, you know, we want to see all our people make it on this side. But the Lord has to show us why that's not the case. The Lord shows us why 2/3, they're not going to make it, man. And we're okay with that. The hell with Jake. The hell with Jake. Because quite frankly, they're like that anchor, man. They're holding us back. 2/3, they're holding us back. Because going into King Solomon's prayer, man, you know, hey, basically, if every so-called Negro, Latino, Native American Indian, Seminole Indian, West Indian, Haitians, if we all pray tonight, we be in the kingdom by the morning. That's how serious it is. That's how crazy it is. If all Israel were to repent right now, we be in the kingdom by the morning. But that's not the case. But it says, ye will revolt more and more. The whole head is sick and the whole heart faint, man. And listen, because oftentimes, man, you know, head injury, that's you ain't coming back from that, you know. Oftentimes, man, when you get a head injury, you know, 9.9999 times out of 10, you ain't coming back from that, man. You know, and you just got to be put down. You know, you just got to be put down, man. You just got to be taken out. You know, and that's the case for 2/3. They got to be put down. There ain't no coming back for them. For them, there is no coming back. There's no coming back. You know, ain't no coming back for them, man. Jake is sick, and that's the problem. All right, Jake is sick. Jake is sick, man. They need help. Hell, we need help too, but the difference is, hey, we have our help, man. The prophecies keep us alive, man. You know, the water, the word, you know, Yahweh Shai essentially is keeping us going. Because again, God damn, man. The scriptures talk about how if it's the Spirit of the Lord that's in us, it keeps us going, it keeps us driving, that hope, you know. Because, man, if we didn't have this, if we didn't have Yahweh Shai, man, and, man, boy, because like I said earlier, man, it's a scary thing to even think about what we'd be doing right now, where we will be, man. This is scary. I don't even want to think about where I would be right now if outside of this truth. Because I always say, if this was the end all be all, the Wadi Yahweh Shai, this ain't the end all be all. Because if it was, boy, oh boy, God damn, man, you know, because wickedness is this shit is too much. It's too much. It's too much, man. The Lord has got to do something. He's got to put a stop to this. The Lord has to put a stop to this, man. Because if not, God damn, we are finished. We are through. We are through, man. You know, so this has got to be the last go round. This has got to be the last generation, man. This has got to be it. It has to be, man. Because if this ain't it, man, this has got to be the last generation. Because just look at us, man. Just look at Jake. Just look at Jake, man. This cycle of the Lord delivering us, you know, being with us for a certain period of time, right? We do well for a certain period of time. We start to go off, you know, and we go into captivity. Jake cries out. The Lord delivers us. You know, we're doing well for a period of time, but then we start to go off, and then, you know, this cycle, it has to come to an end. And this has got to be the last cycle, man. This has got to be. That's why, matter of fact, since I'm here in Isaiah, because that's why the Lord, man, he just has to just, and this was already predestined from the very beginning, you know, because if not, again, we're through. So that's why the Lord said, man, that's why he said this, what I'm about to get. In Isaiah chapter, I think that's 1. Because like I said, like I was mentioning earlier, you know, the elect, they've always been the elect, you know. And like I said, with that $1 million question, like, Lord, how long? You know, like you read in Acts, the 1st chapter, wilt thou at this time restore again the kingdom to Israel? So, you know, the elect were always longing for the kingdom. They were always longing for our enemies to be subdued, righteousness to be established and flourish. Yahweh to, you know, come and get us out of this shit. The elect always had this attitude, you know, because this cycle, man, again, you know, it's no coincidence, you know. We calling this earth as babies, you know, and we're crying. Why? Because this is like, and I can imagine in the kingdom, babies being born and they're smiling, you know. It's a joyful thing. But if we're in this kingdom, you know, and it's like babies, they're born on this earth and they're crying. They're miserable. And it's like, why? Well, you know, hey, babies, they come straight from the spiritual realm. So it's just like, man, I gotta come back into this shit. I gotta be born again into this shit, man. You know, I gotta be born again into this shit. So, God damn, bro. But I'm gonna get this in Isaiah chapter 1, or back in Isaiah 1 in verse 9. Except the Lord of hosts had left unto us a very small remnant, we should have been as Sodom, and we should have been like unto Gomorrah. So listen, that's why the Lord, at the end of the day, he's only dealing with a remnant, the remnant, which we're hoping to be a part of that number, because, man, God damn, you know, damn, Lord, damn, because this shit is too much. It's too much. It's too much. You know, all the lifetimes, you know, this is like, man, this has got to be it. Lord willing, this is it. You know, we believe through faith, this is it. We believe through faith, this is it, man. This is the last generation, because Lord willing, listen, I can't, like I said it before, to come back 3 to 4 generations from now, listen, we all probably be AI bots, man. You know, we'd be robots if we had to come back 3 to 4 generations from now. It's like, nah, man, we can't do this. Like, Lord, please, not like this. You know, inside joke, not like this. So this has got to be it, man. This has got to be it. All the generations, man. You know, and the elder Kazaki Allah, he was making a point as well. Like, he was making the points like, man, you know, especially, you know, the non-believers over 2,000 years ago, to the disciples 2,000 years ago. You know, he was making the points like the Lord bringing all these spirits back on the earth, man. This can't be this. It's not for no reason. You know, the Great Awakening, all these Israelites waking up. You know, this has got to be it. And we touched on this past Saturday as well. Because listen, you know, for the most part, the prophets, having the prophets around, that wasn't like what we have today. You know, it's not like how we have it today. You know, because listen, you got prophets everywhere. You know, there's never been a point in time in history where you had all these prophets on the earth at one time. You know, because this has got to be the last curtain call, the final curtain call. You know, we are coming into the time of the final judgment. You know, again, this has got to be the last cycle. Because again, how much more talking? The Lord is not going to keep this cycle back and forth with Israel. That's why I read that Isaiah 1. You know, that's why eventually the Lord's just going to have to, he's just dealing with the remnant. All right. And everyone else, they're just going to have to be born through the elect, you know, because the Lord's not going to keep going back and forth with Jake, man. Eventually, because, you know, being a rebellious, it goes into rebelliousness. It goes into back to war. So you see this constant back and forth. No, man, the Lord's not going to keep playing games with Jake. Eventually, this war is going to come to an end. Through the elect, starting with Yahushua first and foremost, all right? You know, and in the kingdom, even 2/3 are going to be good. But right now, they got to get their ass whooped, for real. You know, we getting our ass whooped, but 2/3, they got to get their ass whooped for real, man. That death by pain. This has got to be the last generation. This has got to be the last go-around, man. It has to be. It has to be. And Lord willing, it is. We believe it is. This got to be the generation that, hey, man, we see Yahushua's second return. Like it says in 2nd Ezra 9, you know. I've been quoting that a lot lately. Right? It says, ye shall see my salvation. This has got to be it, man. But I'm going to get the precept that I had. I'm going to end this off, man. Proverbs chapter 30. Because again, just look at the wickedness. You know, wickedness is at an all-time high. You know, and like I was saying earlier, you know, the Lord, as patient as he is, eventually he's going to just say, man, fuck it. Eventually he's just going to lash out, and it's necessary. The Lord it's necessary. We see why it's necessary. Because I can imagine, like, you know, brothers is getting that feeling as far as just impatient. Brothers are tired. And as I quoted earlier, man, if it wasn't for the Spirit of the Lord being in us, man, listen, you know, going back to that bonus also that I was talking about, you know, because the Lord wants us to be honest over with him. So, you know, we talk to the Lord sometimes like, hey, Lord, if you don't do something today, man, I'm just going to do it myself, you know, and then, you know, just saying that in a joking matter, you know, because it's like, Lord, if you don't take me out, man, I'm just going to do it myself, you know. Because goddamn, we're tired of this shit. We're tired of suffering these people. We're tired of this shit, man. Jake is tired of this shit. We're tired of this shit. The Lord has to do something. He has to do something. You know, because the best way I could sum it up is just, God damn. That's just the best way I could sum it up. Like, damn. God damn, man. But I'm going to get this in Proverbs 30. Like I said, you know, this video is inspired. It's a response almost. A laying back and I'm echoing the Elder Kazaki Allah's video. He did entitled "This Is It." You know, he was just touching on points like, man, this has got to be the last time, man. This has got to be the last generation. You know, everyone's back in their lots. Again, it's no coincidence. All these spirits being brought back on the earth. All right. You got all these prophets, not everyone, but a majority, you know, a lot of the prophets, You know, a lot of those 144,000 men, a lot of them are here on the earth, you know. And it's like, this is the final act of mercy. This is the final calling cast. All right, this is the last, you know, this is got to be it. Because the prophets weren't as this accessible as they are today. You know, they were never this accessible. You know, like I said, you got brothers of the elect, those elect men, they were all over the place. Like I said, not all of them are here, but hey, a lot of them are here. So this has got to be it. Proverbs 30. I'll start at verse 11. It says, there is a generation, the point is in verse 12, but I'll start at verse 11. There is a generation that curseth their father and doeth not bless their mother. And listen, that goes back to, you know, the original 10 commandments, man. You know, honor thy father and thy mother, not thy mother and thy father. All right, because this is a women worshiping ass queendom. All right, you know, but you honor your father and your mother, man. And these, you know, I saw a video a couple of years ago where, hey, this nigga got into a shootout with his father over some bullshit, man. What kind of shit is this? What is this? Inside joke. You know, it's to a point. Listen, you know, these niggas putting hands in the pops, cursing out the moms, and all type. Man, this is, boy. It says, there is a generation that are pure in their own eyes, and yet is not washed from their filthiness. So you see, man, you know, and all the iniquities eventually is going to catch up to you. All right. That's why, Lord willing, we are covered by the blood of Yahweh Shai, not the blood of Jesus. No, we're covered by the blood of Yahweh Shai. You see, because that's the thing with the Heavenly Father. He requires blood to atone for sins. It goes back to our laws. All right. And for 2/3, they're just going to, the Lord is just going to require their own blood. He's going to recompense their own reward upon their own heads, man. You know, but the elect, they're going to be covered by the blood of Yahweh Shai, man. It's so much that, you know, the Lord's blood was so precious. It only took him but once to be offered up as a sacrifice. Because, you know, going back to the old way of doing things, you know, the priests, the high priests, you know, they were always, you know, offering up sacrifices themselves, you know, on the behalf of Jake, you know, Jake coming up with them sacrifices and whatnot. All right, you know, but Yahweh Shai, his blood is so precious, it only took him once. It says, the scripture say it was appointed unto him once to die. You know, and for Jake to think that, hey, the Lord's gonna come down off of his glory to, you know, go through all that pain and suffering again for these boneheaded ass Negroes, nah, man. You know, Yahweh Shai's blood was good enough. It was perfect. It wasn't good enough. It was perfect. To where he only had to do it once. And, you know, because essentially the blood of Yahweh Shai covers the elect, all right, you know, the nation of Israel, but starting with the elect first and foremost, all right, because they're going to be covered. Lord, wonder why that number, because listen, we don't want no smoke. All right, we don't want no smoke, man. You know, but I'm going to read that again in Proverbs 30:12. There is a generation that are pure in their own eyes, and yet is not washed from their filthiness. So you see, you know, all of Jake's crimes against the Yahweh Shai, man, eventually is going to catch up to him. You know, Jake, they got to get got, man. They got to get his ass whooping. And then some. They got to go through this. They're going to have to eat this shit, man. Just like how we had to eat this shit, you know, we had to go through our punishment, our chastisement, you know. Well, Jake, they're going to have to eat this shit, man. And they're just going to come back in the kingdom, all right? You know, with the heads down, and like I always say, man, it's gonna be a whole lot of salakias, but hey, you know, it is what it is. All right, because this is, like I said, man, and the scriptures say this is a generation of vipers, man. Jake is wicked, man. Jake is wicked. Like I was saying before, like, man, you talking about, you know, you think you can't trust Esau, which you can't, but I would rather leave my car unattended with the windows down in the, you know, the keys in the ignition still running in a white neighborhood rather than Jake. Hell no, I don't trust Jake for shit. I see Jake, man, I'm going across the street. Fuck Jake. Jake is wicked, man. You know, You know that feeling, man. You get when you come around Jake, and they get that feeling too. That's why Jake be looking at you, mean bugging you, because listen, they can sense that spirit of righteousness in you, man. And hey, it's vice versa. We can sense that man, this is a 2/3 no good. This is a no good ass nigga. The feeling is mutual, you know. They can sense that righteousness in us, and we can sense that wickedness in them. We can sense that no good ass spirit in them. So, you know, it's vice versa. You know, whenever you come around 2/3 nigga, man, you're like, oh shit, here we go. You know, you're thinking in your mind, here we go. You know, you just, it's unfortunate, but hey, truth is truth, man. You just gotta, you know, be on extra on point, and you know that feeling that your adrenaline starts pumping a little bit, because you never know when it comes to Jake. You don't know. You know, you almost get in a defensive mode, and you know you just gotta be ready for whatever when it comes to these 2/3 ass niggas, man. Because Jake is just wicked, and that's the point. Jake is wicked, man. You can't trust these niggas. You can't trust Esau, but Jake, man, boy. You got to be extra on point, extra vigilant, extra circumspect with Jake, man. Because Jake, they ain't right. These niggas ain't right, man. That's why they got to get put down like dogs, man. You know. But hey, I'm going to go ahead and end it off. Lord willing, this was edifying, giving all praises to Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. The double honors to the apostles, bishops, elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to you, hopefully elect. Lord willing, to the next one.